Howdy guys, Radio Magic here. I hope you're all having a fantastic morning, afternoon, day, evening, whatever you're up to, wherever you are. We are back with another Kaladesh Remastered draft. So mixing it up between Kaladesh and Zendikar Rising. And yeah, it's Kaladesh today. So let's have a look what we got with pack 1, pick 1. So our rare is Yahenni's Expertise, which is a good one. It's going to be good in the right lists, obviously. But I think Orzhov, Black... You're going to this is going to get a lot of your creatures. Board wipes normally do hit a lot of your creatures in limited, but yeah, I'm not a massive fan of board wipes in limited, though they are really powerful effects. Other picks of the pack, Glimmer of Genius, Spire Patrol, not really anything else. I might just take an Ether Chaser, actually. I don't really like the Yahenni's Expertise that much. If this was like a Fumigate or something, then I'd probably take it, because it's just a more consistent board wipe, and you've got the life gain from it. But I don't think I'm going to take that. And I'd really like to take the Spire Patrol, but I don't want to commit to 2 colours this early on. And Ether Chasers are just really good, so probably just going to take one of them and see where we go. It was a little bit weird to not take the rare of the pack, but, you know. So pick 2. Wildest Dreams. Going to be really good card advantage, actually, in the end game. Just return a load of cards back to your hand. Fatal Push is good. Thopterist is good in the right list. So, there's no good red card here, so whatever we pick, we're committing to a second colour, really. So we could hedge our bets into the improvised list, which could be okay. Or we could go maybe Rakdos with Fatal Push. And I think I'd rather be in Rakdos. I don't know, the improvised list is good. It depends which one we want to go for, really. I'm not a massive fan of the Thopterist. The Thopterist is okay. Probably just going to take Fatal Push. If we end up going wrong, we end up going wrong, but we'll take Fatal Push. I think it's difficult to make a decision this early on. Looks like we might have been punished / paid off, since I would definitely play Shrewd Negotiation and Skyship Plunderer and Daring Demolition. Probably not Bat. I know we've just taken a Fatal Push, but I think I'm going to take a Shrewd Negotiation here. Daring Demolition is good. Maybe we just take a Daring Demolition. There's a lot of blue here, and I think one of these are going to come back round. I guess we'll just take Daring Demolition and hedge our bets, but I'm thinking maybe we need to be in blue. It is only pack 3 though, so we'll have a look. Maybe paid off instantly with Essence Extraction. We're not passing that much black as well, so it's quite likely that our opponent won't be in black. And there's a Die Young here that we'd play, and an Implement of Malice. I've been hotter on this card recently than when I first was when the set was released, just because it's so cheap. You just spend 2 mana on it on turn 2, and then you can make your opponent discard a card, but you get to draw a card. So it's like 3 card advantage, and it triggers Revolt. But this is quite an easy Essence Extraction. So we're quite heavy black at the moment, but we might not be red. And I'm not sure, because we could still go into Orzhov from here. And I am a massive fan of Orzhov. I like Rakdos as well. This makes me wish if we took the Yahenni's Expertise, though, straight off the bat. We're probably going to be looking at being artifacts. And I probably prefer the Screecher over the Servo Exhibition, since we know we're in black already. If we were guaranteed in Orzhov, I'd probably be taking Servo Exhibition. But probably just a bat. There's not really much in this pack. I like the Tampering as like a finisher. The World Fast Monitor is okay. But yeah, just going to stick on the theme of black at the moment and keep going. So not too much good black in this pack. There's some good white if we wanted to go into Orzhov, and there is a Gremlins. So I don't mind a Gear Shift Ace since it has First Strike, but we already have a good red 2-drop, and I prefer the Ether Chaser over the Gear Shift Ace. So probably just going to go with the Gremlins. There's also like artifact synergy in this list. We're going to want artifacts for the Screecher. The Ether Chaser makes artifacts. So there's reasons to pick up the Gremlins here. But we're not committed to red by any stretch. And I don't think we're going to take up Reckless Fireweaver here. I might just take a Make Obsolete. I'm yet to play this, but I have been wrecked by this quite a few times. It can mop up a load of these 2 mana things that make servos in each colour. Can clear up the servo. Yeah, and it's a one-sided effect. If we were in blue, we'd probably be taking the Pioneer, and we can probably pick up a Pillar Bug later on. So I'm just going to take a Make Obsolete. Pillar Bug, maybe it's Pillar Bug actually. It's just a more consistent card. We have a lot of removal as it is. I'm just going to take the Pillar Bug. I talked myself out of it. Here, probably going to take the Infiltrator. We might be making a mistake with not being an Orzhov, but I don't think Servo Exhibition's that great anyway. It works well with the goblins, the gremlins. But apart from that, and if we pick up a vehicle or two, this will be excellent. Here, how many artificers do we have? We have one artificer at the moment. We don't actually have that many creatures. We have 5. Well, I guess we have 5 creatures. I don't really like the Stomper as a vehicle. We might play the Rush of Vitality as a combat trick. I'm yet to give it a try, so it might be good. Here, we might just want the Construct as another early 2-drop. It's really important to have early 2-drops, and this is going to trigger our Gremlins. It's going to help with our Bat. Ooh, so we could take a Brawler or a Screecher. I think I prefer the Brawler, since we picked up the Construct and the Ether Chaser. And yeah, World Fast Monitor looks really good here. So it looks like green, it looks like Rakdos is the right colour combination to be in. Probably just going to more likely to play the Gremlins. Gearshift Days came all the way around. So, choices. The Mythic's pretty much unplayable. I'm not going to be playing this. I mean, I guess we could play this. Probably not, though. Chandra's Revelation. I think this is a conversation between Chandra's Revelation and the Daredevil Dragster, and I think I'm going to lean Dragster. I really like this vehicle. When I've played it, it's done very well for me. It's another artifact for artifact synergies. Yeah, I don't mind that here. Yeah, the other shouts like Night Market, Lookout, or Revelation, but we're going to take a proactive card, I think. We have a bit of removal as is. So if we were in Orzhov, we would be picking up a Kambal here. But as it goes, I'm probably just going to be really happy with the Poisoner. Poisoner's a really good 2-drop. It's another Artificer as well, which makes the Goblins a bit better. Not a massive fan of the Frontline Rebel. Ballistic Chargers, okay. Like, I haven't managed to make it work, really. I played it on one list, and it didn't do particularly well. But I'm not willing to close it off altogether, but we're definitely going to just take a Poisoner here. So, do we want to hedge our bets on a Pillar Bug? And do we want to hedge our bets on another Pillar Bug, or like an Artificer's Goggles, or the Squad? Our number of Artificers now sit at 3. And it works with our artifact theme. I don't mind one. I'm probably going to take a Sky Skiff, actually. Since if we pick up a Night Market Lookout, this will be very good. Just need to make sure we keep a high creature count, because this is our second vehicle we're picking up now. We could do some more at the top end of the curve as well. So not going to go that deep to need to play Ornithopter. Rampage could be good. We're probably planning on being quite aggressive. I don't really like the vanilla card. If we'd have taken both them Servo Exhibitions going to white, then we'd definitely be taking an Eagle here. Probably just going to take this and hope to pick up Goggles later on, since if we get like 6 Artificers, 7 Artificers, then I think it gets worthwhile. So not much for us here at all. How many artifacts do we have? We have 5 artifacts at the moment with ways of making more artifacts, so we could play this. This is really awkward, this removal spell. Juggernaut just doesn't, it's not particularly good, it's easily chump blocked. Probably just going to take a removal spell. I probably hope not to play it though. Maybe we'll play it. Let's have a look what we've got. So it's between Implement, Screecher and Goggles. I think I'm just going to take another Screecher. I don't like all these 1 toughness creatures, but it's a way to get in there. I guess we could take Night Market Lookout as the combo with the Sky Skiff. It's also a good 1-drop. We'd like to play 1-1-drop in the list, I think. I don't know if we're taking it above a Screecher, though. Maybe we should just wait and pick it up later on. And we haven't really got enough Revolt to warrant the Malice, the artifact at this point. If we had more Revolt, then I'd be leaning to take it. We're just going to take a Charger here. We have quite a few free power creatures. The Infiltrator works really well. This is our 3rd vehicle, though, so probably going to be our last vehicle unless we're trading 1 out. I wouldn't mind a Built to Smash, actually. Okay, so like I said, last vehicle is either Goggles or Chandra's Revelation. And we have like 3 pretty solid removal spells and 2 combat tricks, so probably going to take the Goggles here. I've been saying I wanted to pick one up. I'm not going to wait too long on that. And yeah, we waited and we got a little bit paid off. I'm happy with a Night Market Lookout for the Sky Skiff and just the other vehicles in the list. So like I said, I think we're not taking any more vehicles here. The Salvager could be okay. I think I prefer it above the Frontline Rebel. I'm not a massive fan of the Salvager anyway, but it can throw off combat a little bit. Okay, so going into the last pack, let's have a look what we've got. Not too much for us here. We might be looking at a Chief of the Foundry, honestly. We have Sky Skiff, Dragster, Ballistic Charger. We have a token here if we're playing it, the Pillar Bug, the Weldfast Monitor. 2 things that make tokens. Yeah, it could honestly be. Like, if we weren't taking that, what would we be taking? Maybe 2nd Dragster and cutting Ballistic Charger. Ballista Charger, but I think we said we wanted more creatures. It crews this. And it's going to pump like a lot of our team, and it is an artifact itself. I would really like a 2nd Dragster, but I'm going to take 1st Chief above that. We could have had a really like great white deck if we were taking white, like with Fop to Arrest here, like Eagle and that. But it's just going to be an easy Daring Demolition here. That's not to say we haven't had really good picks. Like, the deck isn't overly powerful, but we've definitely got a core here. We have a semi-playable deck. Probably be cutting... maybe the Lifelink's good. I'm thinking the Lifelink... I haven't given Rush of Vitality a go yet, but I'm thinking if constructed if used in the right way, being able to gain yourself a bit of life on the swing back. Do we want the Scrap Trawler, or do we want some card advantage with Live Fast? So probably just want the Live Fast. Scrap Trawler's not going to be that great. I guess it's a way to crew. We haven't really got much synergy with it. Yeah, I'm just gonna take the Live Fast, I think. I guess we have some card advantage with this, but we don't really have much late game. We're gonna want something to do to refuel. Oh, so we got another Ether Chaser here, or the Marauder, which is quite good. But we have to really have +1/+1 counters already going, and we don't really have that many. We have like no +1/+1 counters. The Marauder, I guess the Daredevil, not really though. Yeah, we're just gonna take an Ether Chaser here. That's pretty easy pick, I think. If we have more +1/+1 counter synergy, we could play that. And ooh, got some really nice ones here. I think we're just gonna take an Underhanded Designs though. Fen Hauler would be really good. Maybe it is Fen Hauler actually. If this was a 7 mana 5/5 and that with Improvise, then it wouldn't be playable. I think the fact it's not blocked by artifact creatures makes it really playable. Right now, I'm probably missing something by just not taking Underhanded Designs here. It's a removal spell. We have tons of artifacts. Like, it will definitely be switched on a lot of the time. And it's some good drainage. Not really playing anything here, I don't think. Maybe you pick up, like, the last 4 picks of Self-Assembly Workers. Oh, do we want another Poisoner or do we want another Fen Hauler? I think we need more late game. Just going to take a Fen Hauler. It hurts me a little bit passing one of them. I mean, so we're going to pick up a few. Probably just going to take a well fast monitor and actually be happy with it, I think. Nothing here. I'll take one of these. So we're going to have to make a few cuts. I'm not sure what we're cutting at this point. I don't think we want to play the squad, though it does have a little bit of synergy in our list. How many artificers did we end up with? Like 4 artificers? I actually don't think that's really enough to play the goggles. I guess the goggles just are okay. Like when we're equipping them to bats, they stop from 1 damage, like ping effects. Oh, Fenhall is nice. They are something for improvised though. We'll be dropping our artifact count down to 8. But then we have like ways to make artifacts as well. I think we're going to cut the goggles. Might be a mistake. We can cut Gremlins as well. Gremlins is okay, but it's normally a 1 hit. Your opponent blocks it quite easily. So 3 cards to cut, and I think we do want to play 17 lands since we have the Live Fast and we have 2 Fenhaulers now. We want to get to 5 for the Charger. And it's really important that we have the Dragster as well as card draw. I think maybe it's a conversation between the Rush of Vitality or the Invigorated Rampage. Maybe we don't play both. Maybe we don't play the Infiltrator, but the Infiltrator seems really good when we have 3 vehicles in the list. So probably are going to play the Infiltrator, actually. And I think we're definitely going to play Night Market Lookout. So... it's difficult, actually. What's our creature to non-creature count? So we need to be really careful before cutting creatures. So... How do we do this? Maybe we have to cut the Rampage or the Vitality. I think I'd rather cut the Rampage since we have like Death Touch, First Strike. Our opponent's going to be trading with our creatures a lot of the time, and giving something lifelink might be quite good. Giving like the Dragster lifelink or the Ballistic Charger lifelink. Even just the Bat is going to be quite good, but then it also gets another attack. So I'm probably going to cut the Rampage. It also gives like that could be the worst decision. It could be to keep the Rampage in, and I could very possibly see that. But I haven't given Rush of Vitality a go, and I feel like I do want to give this a shot at some point. So let this be the experiment. Okay, I think we're going to cut Bat and Live Fast. We have some card draw on the Daredevil Dragster, and in this format I've normally found with Live Fast, well, it's really good, like, obviously draw 2 cards is okay, but the lose 2 life is actually relevant sometimes. We do have some, like, life gain with the Night Market Lookout, the Bug, and Underhanded Designs, but, you know, you got to do what you got to do. And, right, let's jump into a few games and see how we go. Okay, we are on the draw with our Artifact, Rakdos, sort of, Synergy, Ping, I don't know, this pile of cards. We're going to keep this. We got the Synergy with the Night Market Lookout and the Sky Skip and the Infiltrator. So, not going to be able to block that. Well, I mean, we can block that if we want, but I don't think we're going to block that. I think we just ping our opponent here. Since I'd rather keep the Night Market Lookout around. We're not going to be able to... Well, we could block it if we want to, like I said, but I don't think we are. Opponent's only dealing 2, we'll be dealing a little bit more. I'll ping our opponent. We've got our opponent on a 20-turn clock as is. Dragster's pretty nice. I think I'm just going to play Dragster and then we'll play Infiltrator next turn to crew. And then we're pinging our opponent for 2 every turn. This has been the first time I've been able to make the Night Market Lookout work. It's like our opponent's missing land drops. We're going to punish them to the best of our ability. Yeah, an opponent's going to scoop it up there. That was, what was that? 6, 7, 8 damage, and we gain 1. Okay, we get to go first, and this hand looks okay. We could really do with maybe some of our ping effects, like our Night Market Lookout, but we get to go turn 2, turn 3, and then cruise, so we'll keep. It's really difficult to mulligan lands and spells, especially on the play. Opponent has a 1-drop, pretty good 1-drop as well. Nice. Gonna start getting in there. I've prioritized putting the pillar bug down just so we can start doing some damage, start getting him with lifelink. Nice. Opponent just puts the counter on. So we don't have triple black, so we can't give the pillar bug lifelink. Probably just going to essence extraction this and attack. Don't mind that. And it doesn't really matter whether we crew or not, so we'll just attack him. Ho 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 ho. Wish I saved the essence extraction now. This has first strike. Gonna need to draw an answer. That would be an answer. Again, no triple black. I think we just killed the vehicle. We could kill the ace. I guess the ace might have been a better shout, actually. Since then, none of their vehicles have first strike. Hopefully they don't have any more vehicles. And looks like they're a mono white. So I guess we'll trade off this vehicle. Since we have a dragster coming up. Opponent's just going to trade off here. I don't think we're going to give lifelink so we can play the dragster. And if our opponent can answer our infiltrator, we might be in a little bit of trouble. Do we attack the dragster? We go to combat. I guess we'll crew, but I guess if our opponent has an impeccable timing, they have an I guess if they have an impeccable timing, I'd rather them to use it on the Sky Skiff. And if our opponent goes to tap down here, we can actually crew the dragster. So I guess this works out quite well. We can crew like this, use a vehicle to crew. So our opponent needs impeccable timing here or some sort of damage burn spell. So they might have it. Opponent has Inspired Charge. I like that they're using it on the defensive though. They're a little bit scared. That was our card draw gone though, so we're in top deck mode. Nice. Ether Chase is quite good. So we'll go like this. And I don't think it matters which one our opponent decides to tap down. But they're not going to tap down any. And we will attack with both. They have another combat trick. Oh, opponent's using all the inspired charges on the defense. I don't mind our position though. Killing our Ether Chaser would be really unfortunate. Yeah, I couldn't even make a 1-1. So we need to top deck a creature. Night Market Lookout would be fantastic. Fenhall is also quite good. And I guess when we tap, our opponent just taps it down anyway. So I guess we pass. Yeah, nothing we can do. So I really need another creature before we can start getting in there. And yeah, that's a good creature. Back-to-back Fenhaulers. So opponent's probably going to save the 5 damage here. But they defo in trouble next turn. Since we just go to combat, if our opponent doesn't tap them down before combat, then we attack. If they do tap them down, then we can Fenhauler to crew instead. And this is really annoying, this noise with the Ether Chaser. I don't know if you guys can hear this as well. So opponent has to chump block here. Just going to scoop it up here. They chose to not tap it down with the array. And probably should have done that in response, but then, like I said, we can crew the vehicle. Okay, currently 2-0 with our Rakdos list. This hand is missing red mana. But I think we're going to keep, since any land gives us Screecher, and then obviously any other land gives us Daring Demolition. And we have 2 plays in the meantime. And there's the red land. Gonna lead on the Poisoner so we can make the 1-1 early. Probably gonna lead on the Ether Chaser now since it deals more damage. Probably just gonna go into Sweatworks Brawler if we get to attack. Yeah, and this lines up pretty well. So we'll pay the energy. Opponent probably just takes the 2. And then we're just going to play the Brawler out. Ahead of curve. And then I like Ether Chaser or Sky Skiff plus Fatal Push next turn. And we'll just take this. So opponent can get to draw 3 now if they want to. We're not going to block. We're going to hope to try and kill our opponent before they can deploy these cards. I guess they get to gain more energy. So how do we want to do this? So I guess we could just play Sky Skiff, play Poisoner, and we could play the Poisoner now so we get to make an extra token. And hope our opponent doesn't have some form of board wipe. I'm thinking Demon, the 5-mana, the 6-mana Demon that gives -2/-2 to all creatures. Though it would wipe our opponent's board as well. Or the -1/-1 to just your opponent's creatures. Either one, we don't want to see it. I'm just going to get in there, I think. Our opponent wants to trade off the servo, we'll trade off the servo. It's a blocker that's not coming in for this menace threat. And if our opponent decides to stay back and block, then Fatal Push and Daring Demolition is going to be quite good. So we need to really press our advantage while we're on board, since our opponent definitely has the late game covered with this era of innovation. Yeah, with 8 cards in hand, we gon' struggle. So we can either double, if we draw a land, we can double removal spell, or we could Screecher plus Fatal Push. So we did draw land. So we could like Daring Demolition the squad, push the Poisoner, attack with crew, attack with everyone. We'll be doing 5, 6, 7, 8 to them. And they could chump, so they'd only be taking 6. Is that overkill? Maybe, but I really don't think we'll win in the late game. Equally, we could crew, attack with everyone. I guess our opponent gets to save more damage because they can block the menace for it. So now we could attack with everyone, and if they double block the menace threat, then we get to Fatal Push. But then we only get through 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. I guess that's actually okay. Because we get to wipe our opponent's entire board. So we gave up on 3 damage, but our opponent now has to put 2 blockers up to block the Brawler. And we're still coming in the air. I like to see a Prophetic Prism here. Unless our opponent has something big, we look like we could be taking this next game, next to this round. Oh yeah, there we go. Managed to pull across the finish line. Our opponent definitely had that if we were going into the late game, so not something we wanted to do. Okay, we're on the draw, and I think this has to be a mulligan. If these were 2 swamps, I would keep this hand, but we have so much more black than red, and if we don't draw a black source, then we're pretty done. So we're going to mulligan this way. This hand looks a bit bad. We're going to keep. And I think we're just going to bottom this construct, since this makes an artifact, and yeah, it gets to curve out a little bit. I don't think we can afford to bottom a land. Ooh, Bowmat Courier. Pretty good. Opponent's on the haste. Let's see if we can shut him down with this Ether Chaser. They might have like a Chandra's Pyro Helix here to get past. No, Warden. This Bowmat Courier is actually going to do a really good job of refilling our opponent's hand. I hope our opponent doesn't have another removal spell here. But this has been a really exceptional curve. Yeah, and our opponent's gonna keep it up. This is we're just about to get run over completely. I think we have to just kill this Bowmat Courier, otherwise it's gonna draw 4 additional cards. And we're taking 3. I don't really want to let our opponent draw 4 more cards there. I guess we could have shot the Fairground Warden, actually. That might have been better. And got back our Ether Chaser, and then it could have blocked. Yeah, I think we made a mistake there. But make no mistake, I will block it this time. I think we just can't afford to take this. We're just going to accrue, block, and trade this off. Makes our bat a little bit weaker. Also means if we draw land, we can't play Fenlurker, but I don't think we can afford to take 3. Yeah, so can't do anything here. So we're going to probably be taking 3. We're dead if our opponent has a removal spell. We're taking 3 if they don't. See what our opponent's got. They had the very fast start. So we need like Essence Extraction off the top. Nope. Fair enough. Yeah, if we play this, we just die in the air. Fair enough. We got run over pretty quickly that game. Okay, we are on the play, and this hand looks really bad, but I think we might keep this since the Eager Construct can scry. It feels really bad, but we're on the play. I don't really want a mulligan. We have 10 black sources and 7 red, so this is the second time in a row that we're drawing 2 mountains and no swamps, but I think we're going to risk it. We're currently 3-1 as well. We lost to a Boros list, and we got run over, so Boros doing what Boros is best at. Going to hope to draw some swamps, but we're mainly running swamps, so should be picking some up at some point. We have 10 in the list, so just under a 1 in 3 chance of drawing a swamp. And we get 2 draws and a scry. So essentially like 3 looks. Ah, there we go. I'm going to start underhanded designs now to get the drain going. So we could be getting in 2 damage next turn. If our opponent doesn't play a blocker, then going to feel really sad. We'd like a Sky Skiff to go this Night Market lookout. Prison. So we're missing out on 2 damage here. But we gain a life, I guess. So we'll see how relevant this is. Yeah, I think we're going to pay instead of playing the Night Market Lookout. Depends if we think our opponent... Yeah, yeah. And we'll keep Swamp. Essence Extraction's good. So we'll see what our opponent does here, but if they don't have a 3 mana 3/3, then we could just go Chief of the Foundry into Night Market Lookout, or Chief into just Ping. It might have been a mistake not to put the Construct on 2, since our opponent will be on 18 now. And we'd probably be playing Underhanded Designs this turn. We'll probably be just playing Chief of the Foundry. So I guess that means that our opponent will be on 17 instead. So we'll see how this works out for us. Oh dear. Not good as it looks. So, gonna need to set up this Chief of the Foundry play as soon as possible so we can Underhanded Designs. Gonna decline here and just play the Night Market Lookout. This is when Rush of Vitality might come into use, the lifelink on it. So as of next turn, we'll be able to activate Underhanded Designs, and then if our opponent tries to have a removal spell, we can play the Rush. You have to take 5 more. This is a very good card, though. This is not something I've played with yet. Oh, Hadim. This now has Hexproof. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. So I think we're attacking with the... I think we're attacking with Chief and Construct. If our opponent blocks, we can Essence Extraction it in response. If they don't block, then we'll have to Underhanded Designs it. I guess we could even attack with the Night Market Lookout as well. So opponent's going to bite. So it's going to stop our opponent's card draw engine, and we can Underhanded Designs next turn. The Prison. Opponent's an Esper. I presume this is one of our opponent's more powerful bombs. Oh, missed with the Glintless Nest Crane. Okay, this leads me to believe our opponent doesn't have anything here. So, just gonna just blow this up, I think. They get the Prism back, so they get an extra card draw. So opponent can just bounce the Chief of the Foundry off the Glintless Crane, and I think I'll allow them to do this. So we can play out the Pillar Bug. And our opponent, if they have a removal spell, might be targeting the Chief of the Foundry here. Since the Glintless Crane then blocks the rest of our board. But this Rush is going to get past. So this Rush would have been an Invigorated Rampage. And I think definitely the Rampage would be better here. The Rampage would possibly have our opponent dead. Yeah, so Prism. Let's see how greedy they get. They might want to pay here. Not that greedy. I think I agree with our opponent's decision there. So you could see like a Daring Demolition. Sky Skiff. I'm happy with a Sky Skiff. So opponent's going to pay now, so that might be it. So yeah, full attack. And if our opponent blocks incorrectly here, then they are dead. And they have to chump block, so it's not so obvious which decision they should be making. Since this does give 1 power, so if they try and bounce the Chief of the Foundry like this, that's just dead. That would be 7 damage, my friend. Who needs Invigorated Rampage when you have a Rush of Vitality? I mean, it feels like it's definitely the wrong choice in this situation, but the lifelink would have been good. Okay, we are currently, I think, 4-1 of our Rakdos list, losing 1 game to Boros, and yeah, this hand looks okay. We'd really like to draw more lands, but we are running 17 just to be safe, so we should draw some. And hopefully the Aether Chaser is going to get in. Forever with these 2-land hands. But there you go. Heart the cards, put your faith in. Thou shalt be rewarded. See what our opponent goes for. Aether Swooper. Fortunately, ours beats out yours a little bit. So I think we're just going to attack here. We could have played Underhanded Designs first, but I think we're going to play the Monitor instead. Prioritize damage. I think just prioritizing damage seems to be better. And I want to play more to the board, especially when we have the Rush of Vitality and a way to stop our opponents from blocking our Menace threats. And this can essentially act as like a 4-mana removal spell on 1 turn. Nice. So yeah, probably... If we drew a land then I'd be thinking of going Aether Chaser, Aether Poisoner into Rush of Vitality when they try and block on the Aether Chaser. But I think we're just going to Essence Extraction that Drake. Gain us a bit of life. Attack for 5. This will certainly put our opponent on the back foot. So what did we think of Yahenni's expertise? Would it have been good in this list? And I actually don't think so. I think a lot of our stuff's free power. I don't think we would have wanted the expertise. Okay, so opponent's staying back on the defense. So I wonder how we want to do this. I guess we could give Menace, attack, see what our opponent does, and Rush of Vitality if we need to. We give up on making a 1/1 token this turn, but I think that's okay. So his opponent might take the block on the Ether Chaser since they can now. And let's see how they block, though, because they might get blown out a little bit. Oh, looks like they are going to get blown out a fair amount. Yeah, our Ether Chaser is going to be free power, my friend. So we don't get to add anything else to the board this turn, but we get to clean up some of our opponent's board. And we get to gain some life back. We also can just play underhanded designs and shoot something big if our opponent just does one thing this turn. Note they're going to spend some time answering our threats. So they're incentivized to put the counter on it, yeah. So Ballista could be good. I'm wondering whether we just underhanded designs. We could poison our underhanded designs. We sort of give our opponent a turn, though. Because if we do this now, we can then attack for 2 and put them to 8. But then we don't get to contribute anything else to the board. I think we're gonna hang tight. I'm just gonna pass the turn. We can always do it next turn. If we draw land, we can Pillar Bug activate as well. So our opponent's got, they got Eagle. So we'll definitely trade here. Opponent's giving us a pretty good opportunity to trade. So we just get to underhanded designs this Eagle now. And yeah, land was really good. So we're not going to drain anyway, so we're just going to activate underhanded designs and attack for 2. Is that what we want to do? Or do we want to play Charger? I think actually we want to play Charger. I keep changing my mind, but I think we want to play Charger, and then next time we can play Pillar Bug and crew the Charger. And it can ping the Eagle so that our opponent can't actually block anything with the Ether Chaser. So we've gained quite a bit of life so far, so we've buffed our life total a bit. So I think we just ping the Drake, and our opponent shouldn't be able to block. If they go for the double block, we'll underhanded designs. And I don't think we're going to pay here since we want to hold it up. Not sure what our opponent has to be doing this. See what our opponent's got, but they knew underhanded designs was on the field, so maybe they blanked. Well, I guess like what else are you going to do in that position? You're just gonna take the damage. Okay, I think we're currently 5-1 with our Rakdos kind of synergy energy list. A little bit of energy, a little bit of vehicles, a little bit of ping. I'm going to keep this. Outside of a Chandra's Pyro Helix, this hand is quite good. And our opponent's in the colours for Chandra's Pyro Helix, and unfortunately they start with a pretty good one to block this Ether Chaser. And Foundry Inspector up next. See if our opponent attacks. Oh, I don't know if I agree with this attack. So we could just play the underhanded designs and ping our opponent. But I think I like just playing Bat here. Start getting it in the air. So let's just attack first. Maybe I like playing another Ether Chaser actually, so we can sit back on defense. And that way we get to play Night Market Lookout as well. If we draw a black source next turn as well, and our opponent doesn't put anything out, they're missing land drops. Getting some good cost reduction on these. I can't imagine our opponent has much more synergy though. Hopefully they put it on the Reckless Fireweaver. That's actually going to be quite a pain to get past, I think. Yeah, that's a little bit annoying to get past. I'm just going to play bat and start trying to get in the air. And then Ballistic Charger next turn. No opponent. So I think we'll start with the Charger, since it kind of sets up for next turn. So we can Underhanded Designs, and then we'll see how this turn goes before we get into it. But Underhanded Designs with 2 artifacts is going to be quite good, since we can shoot something. I don't think it's correct to put it on the Ether Chaser. Well, I guess actually the Charger is going to kill this Ether Chaser if they don't put it on there, yeah. This is just going to keep ticking up though, so we have to put some pressure on our opponent. So we could, I think we like just attack with the Charger. And just ping our opponent. No opponent. Wait, this is dealing 3+3. So whoa, okay. If they made a mistake here, if we Underhanded Designs this Foundry Inspector, this is only gonna deal 5 damage if I'm right. We'll have to take a turn off this turn, but oh, opponent maybe with the miscalculation there. We're just gonna pass that turn back. Didn't lay a land, but opponent can start putting counters on things now. The Ether Hub's actually really good here as well. What's our opponent up to? Can this gain energy? They can pay 3 to gain energy to put a counter on it, but wait, what's our opponent doing? So Fabrication Module can gain them an energy to put a counter on this, and this will be 5 power. But they can't do this 3 mana and 4. They're 1 mana short. I mean, opponents have made bigger mistakes before, but where is this extra damage coming from? They've got no cards in hand, so everything's present. What are we missing? I don't want to get just blown out. Gain energy. They can only put 1 counter on it. It'll be 5 power, though. I'm not sure what our opponent was trying to do there. It took me a while because that felt really weird. Yeah, opponent's gonna scoop it up there. I don't even think they were out of that then. They could have taken one hit from the charger and then activate the fabrication module, and then we can't attack anymore. I'm not sure what they were doing. They're on 22, so they could have taken the hit. Okay, opponent gets to go first, but we have a pretty good hand. We're gonna keep. Really like some more 2-drops, but beggars can't be choosers. I don't really want to fatal push this. Now we've picked up the essence extraction, we might do. We'll fatal push this in the end step if our opponent's got nothing. I mean, we're going to have to answer this eventually, aren't we? I mean, the Sky Skiff blocks it at the moment. We're going to be tapped down for the next few turns. No, we'll leave it. If it was a little bit aggressive to fatal push that. We'll see how much we'll get punished for it. Since I presume they're going to gain energy some other way here and deal us an extra damage. Oh no, just fragmentize. Nice. So really wish that Sky Skiff was still here to pump this bat. So yeah, opponent's going to spend the energy here. We'll take the 2 damage, but then I think we are going to fatal push this turtle. The 2/5 is like a relatively good target to fatal push. And yeah, had we have fatal pushed it on turn 1... yeah, I think we are going to prioritize just fatal pushing this. We're a little bit behind. It's really mana inefficient. But, you know, we'll do what we got to do. And we're holding up essence extraction as well, so... Be something good. Can't essence extraction that. We can underhanded designs that, though, when we get there. Mastodon probably taking 4 off of it. We could 2-for-1 ourselves if we wanted to with the essence extraction. So opponent's going to ice over. Give vigilance. I'd much rather just underhanded designs this Mastodon if we can. Probably just gonna... I guess we've got the underhanded designs for the next threat. Because we'd have to top deck an artifact next turn. Otherwise we're taking even more damage. So I guess we just attack and see what our opponent's got. Opponent's just going to take it. So providing we draw land next turn, we can play the Fen Hauler. We could have just planned to block, I guess, with the Brawler and the Monitor. And take 4 more. Oh! Oh, they actually gave us the second artifact, though. And they gave us something for the Fen Hauler. So how do we want to do this? I think we want to underhanded designs the Mastodon essence extraction. Yeah, sure. So we get to... It feels bad because it's a lot of value that our opponent's got there, but... They actually gave us the second artifact, though. And I guess we'll give this Menace. And we have a Fen Hauler to follow it up. That might have been actually really bad. I mean, it was a good play, but I think they should have taken the artifact and taken into consideration the Fen Hauler. I'm just going to attack here and not give Menace. Because they actually allowed us to cast this Fen Hauler while getting in more damage. Hopefully they don't have a counterspell, so they don't. But an Ice Over's... Oh my god, and we pulled it through. Like, our opponent with the exchange your artifact with our creature. But I feel like they took the wrong creature there. Obviously, they wanted to take the Menace for it. I can see where they're coming from. But we had underhanded designs. Like, we also had the dodgy attack last turn. So our opponent knew we had something. Like, maybe they're not playing around Essence Extraction. But, you know, we have some way to answer this Mastodon. Or some proportion of way. And since you know the underhanded designs is on the field, probably gotta remove that. But yeah, 7-1. What are we saying? Managed to put it through in the end with a list that I thought would probably go about 5 wins. I thought I'd be posting this list either way regardless today because it's our draft for today. Just helps keep the Doctor away. But we ended up going 7-1 with it, so pretty happy. Overall, this is the first time that I've managed to pull off the Night Market, Sky Skiff, Dragster, Charger, like just sort of combo. We also had an Infiltrator in there. Yeah, I mean, if you pick up early vehicles, really, like a few of these really early, say 3 or 4 vehicles, you want to take 2 or 3 Night Market Lookouts and Infiltrators, since you can crew this Sky Skiff as much as you want. And yeah, it works out pretty well. We got to attack with this once, and our opponent killed it in combat with a Inspired Charge and First Striker. So at least we were putting our opponent on the back foot with that. How did the list do overall? Yeah, you can tell 7-1, really good. Rush of Vitality was something we tested above Invigorated Rampage, and Rush was... I feel like the Rampage would have won it as well, but the Rush was really good because it gave Indestructible and Lifelink. Wasn't relevant in the match we used it, but I could definitely see this being relevant. So this is something I would like to try again in future. Yeah, we took a pack 1, pick 1 Ether Chaser and worked out quite well with us. And we took a Construct early. Construct was actually good in the game we drew it because we had Chief of the Foundry as well and the Pillar Bug, which worked out quite well. We ended up cutting a Bat, which I don't know if it was right or wrong, but there's a lot of 1 damage ping effects, so I don't want to lose my free drop to one of them. One thing I would say though, I've played with underhanded designs a little bit, but this game, these series of games here have really highlighted something for me. When you're looking at this card, you really need to be looking at it as a 4-mana removal spell or a 2-mana investment for a later on removal spell. The ping that you get is basically nombo text unless you're not curving out effectively. And I think in this format, you really do need to curve out and get on board quickly. If you're like in Orzhov, maybe because you're making so many tokens, you can get like multiple pings each turn, which would be really good. But in lists where you're only creating like 1 artifact a turn, like, do you want to be playing this on turn 4 or do you want to play this on turn 3 and then giving it Menace on turn 4? It's just like you really do want to curve out, and like, are you going to play this on turn 2 to get maximum value above like your other pretty powerful 2-drops that you have? Probably not. So I consider this more of a like late game play it and then shoot something straight away when you've got 2 artifacts. Because don't get me wrong, it's really good. Like it's just as good. It's probably better, I'd argue, than a Daring Demolition in some circumstances, since it's 2 mana on the turn. You can invest early, and it's instant speed at the same time, and it has the advantage of pinging. Obviously, this is just like unconditional removal, but. So really good. I'd still play it highly, but yeah. We had 1 lucky win with the double Fen Hauler. We top decked Fen Hauler into the other Fen Hauler, and pretty good with Improvise. And our opponent there, when they gave us the Prophetic Prison later on in that last game, it allowed us to cast our Fen Hauler, which closed the game. So that was a pretty mad play from our opponent, but yeah, ultimately spelt demise for them. So yeah, the list worked really well. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. I really enjoyed playing this list. We've jumped into Rakdos quite a bit recently, and yeah, it is really fun to play. If you guys did enjoy the list or enjoy the content in any way, please consider dropping the video a like and subscribe. I say every time, but like, because I'm such a new YouTube channel, it really does help me out every time you just take a second and drop a comment down below. What did you think? Did you think we should have been in other colours? Like black was probably the colour we should have been in, but red was the other colour we were debating, since we only have like a few red cards, and there was a ton of white coming round. So maybe we should have been in Orzhov instead and utilised the underhanded designs a little bit more. So let me know what you thought in the comments down below. If you're still here as well, other stuff we've got coming up on the channel recently. We have a draft every other day, regardless of how we do. So we can post up them 4 wins, them 5 wins, and them 7 wins sometimes. You get to highlight a list like this, which is really fun. And then every other day we have a constructed videos in between them. So a video a day, make sure you keep an eye on that, since get your magic fix, as the logo says. But yeah, and we also have a mini series that we're running on the channel at the moment with How Viable is Control. We've currently done Jeskai and Azorius, and we'll be moving on to either Grixis or Esper next. So make sure you keep an eye on that. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. I'm just rambling now. So until next time, guys, stay safe.